Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary.
Today on One, where are the First Lady and President ask protesters? Walvis Bay Police turns away GBV protesters for political rally. Civil society calls for inclusion in national strategy on anti-corruption. And affirmative repositioning plans to assist Lucato in upcoming elections.
Despite charges being dropped against the Zoo Park 25, many protesters at the court were asking where is President Hage Geingob and the First Lady Monica Genkos. Protesters are asking why the head of state and the First Lady are not assisting their cause for justice against gender-based violence in the country. They also rejected the sudden interest shown by the well-known musician, The Dog, as according to the protesters, he was just chasing the clout.
Let the president step in. We can vote, and from there we are the ones who are victims here. We cannot be victimized. Let the president step out and take a step. Otherwise, we are going to take the law into our hands. Let that prison be full of us. We will be there.
To open a case against someone that just raped, they will say we don't have logistics, we don't have vehicles, we don't have manpower. If you check around here, all the police station vehicles are parked here. All the police officers are here. So who will go fight the crime in the locations?
When it's gonna be enough? When is it gonna be enough? When is the government gonna take this seriously? Because the more it's prolonged, the more these perpetrators are on the loose and don't get addressed. They feel like it's a piece of we need people to take this seriously. Because I'm scared for the generation that's growing up. I'm scared for myself. It's not safe anymore.
We deserve better. We're not violent. The police is violent. As you can see, we're young people protesting. The fact that grown men are beating women, it's ironic because that's exactly what we're protesting. It's an injustice. They should stop the violence. Now we have to fight police brutality and gender-based violence and femicide. It's disgusting.
So on Saturday, we came with incense, we came with posters, we came in peace, and they threw tear gas at us, and they shot rubber bullets at us. I feel a type of way. And they were laughing. Where was this energy for Shannon? Yes, and they were laughing at us, they were beating us, they were arresting us. Our colleagues are right now in court because they were illegally arrested.
Government and police brutality has been a thing in the past, and we saw it happen on Saturday where peaceful demonstrators could not have their voice heard. It's a very big problem because it just shows how the government doesn't want to listen to what the people have to say, even if they do it in a peaceful manner, even if they do it in a violent manner, they just don't give a damn.
Legendary Kwaito artist King TD, also known as The Dog, arrived at the 11th hour to show his support but was immediately asked to leave by the protesters. According to the protesters, King TD was just there to take pictures for social media.
So you can come now at this very time to take your photos, but you cannot come for the rest of the days. We were all busy. There's mad people here that left their assignments, left their work, left their children at home to be fighting for them. Because you want to come and you want to take photos with other people's signs. You didn't even make your own sign.
But you're late.
But you're late.
I mean, it's because
what do you want me to do now?
That went here if they stand with us.
You're supposed to fight the other people on the other side, not me.
Everybody's taking pictures.
If I didn't have daughters, maybe. I've got daughters too.
Let's see what he has to say.
So don't come against me.
Today On One spoke to a member of the Zoo Park 25 after the charges were dropped against them, who claim that the fight will continue until justice is served.
It's a fight that is continuous. It's not over. We're not done. There's still to be results had within the community, within the police force as well. Genuinely, I just feel so happy to not have to plead not guilty, as from the start I was not guilty. Of course, we can say that there are certain things that were not correct, but in the end, it is the movement that makes it useful. What we did it for matters more than anything. This is bigger than all of us, and we should understand that at this very moment. We are not done. Like we said, no justice, no peace. We're marching right now.
Some of the members of the Namibian police force seemed demoralized after the charges were dropped, as many were seen sitting under the tree, showing no interest in the protesters.
The top, that's where we all aiming. To be the top Jita, top company, to be at all the top rooms, to feel those top sensations. We all want to be at the top of our game, no? Earning the top dollar, men say, yeah, the top. With top score. Because for us, there's no braai unless it's a top braai. With some top chicken drumsticks on the grill. And there's no pub unless it's top score, cooked at top speed. With the top taste, the top aroma, the top texture. You know what I mean. The top, that's where we all aim. And that's where Top Score takes us. Top Score, a proud product of Namib Mills.
The Kusabmoon police station commander at Walvis Bay refused to accept a petition from protesters that staged a march over the weekend against the brutal killings of women and children in the country. The police claimed that they were not made aware of the march and that they had a scheduled political event to attend to at the time. The group's march at Walvis Bay coincided with similar gatherings in other towns that call for an end to gender-based violence. The march started at the Independence Market, where a young girl that is suspected to have fallen victim to such heinous crimes, Shannon Wasserfall, was last seen. The group proceeded to the Kusabmoon police station, where they attempted to hand over a petition to the Kusabmoon station commander, Inspector Johanna Unovene. The commander, however, said that procedures were not followed and refused to accept the petition.
I'm not going to receive the petitions because the people, they did not follow the procedures. I taught them to organizing their thing so that they can advise, to give us the advice in 3 days for them to bring their petition. Who accept the petition will not hesitate to receive their petition. And they must organizing their things for us to receive it.
According to Unovene, the officers at the station were preparing to attend a SWAPO gathering that needed law enforcement presence and rightfully organized. The response was not well received by the protesters.
5 minutes of your time to just take it and say, I have received. However, come back next week, follow the correct protocol, write a letter to the municipality, write a letter to the police cluster, do it like this, do it like this, do it like, we will gladly follow protocol. However, right now, we are faced with a pandemic, we are faced with a femicide, women are dying, women are being killed. I have a daughter myself. I could never live with my son. If this had to happen to my daughter, I will take 5 minutes of my time to come and receive a paper on behalf of every child that has died. 5 minutes of your time. You are putting a political rally before that. Impossible.
The protesters say that brutal crimes against women and children are on the increase, which should be a call for concern for all Namibians, and addressing this social problem should be prioritized by all stakeholders, including the law enforcement.
Women are not safe in public spaces, in government buildings, in their schools, or even in their homes. It is believed of the enough is enough. If you, the law enforcers, won't do anything about it, we might as well take justice in our own hands. We are tired. Ons is moeg. Enough is enough. Justice for Shannon, justice for all. No justice, no peace.
Imagine opening your Nedbank account anywhere, anytime by simply taking a selfie. Introducing Identity Today, a platform which enables you to open your Nedbank account, scan the Nedbank QR code with your smartphone camera, and immediately follow the instructions on the link that will open up in your web browser. Follow the simple steps to complete the account opening online form. Have your identity card or passport ready. Take a selfie and send it to us, and your new Nedbank account will be opened and confirmed in 3 minutes or less. Visit www.nedbank.com.na to shift your account to Nedbank today. Nedbank. See money differently.
The Institute for Public Policy Research has urged the Anti-Corruption Commission to step up its efforts to involve civil society in the new National Anti-Corruption Strategy and Action Plan. The recommendations were made in a report published by the IPPR titled From Outrage to Action, Namibian Civil Society and the Struggle Against Corruption. In 2019, the Director General of the ACC, Paulus Noah, was approached by the IPPR to provide input into the meaningful presence of civil society organizations in the anti-corruption landscape. Although Noah acknowledged their critical role, he also criticized Namibian civil society for being apathetic, stating that he has not seen civil society organizations organizing public marches against corruption. Shortly after Noah made these comments, the fish rot revelations came to light, and hundreds of protesters, including civil society, marched to the ACC headquarters in Windhoek to demand his resignation for delaying the pre-fish rot related investigations which the ACC had known about for years. The IPPR executive director has now warned the ACC that the anti-corruption landscape could come under threat if the anti-graft body fails to include civil society voices in the new National Anti-Corruption Strategy and Action Plan.
This time, when the ACC now is drawing up a new strategy and a new plan, we are saying to the ACC that, look, please include civil society. We have to do this together. And the signs are at the moment that the ACC will accommodate. So Paulus Noah is correct to criticise civil society because we have not been proactive on the whole, and we have not, made ourselves known and asked awkward questions about what's happening. So in the future, that's what we plan to do. We plan to be much more upfront and willing to get involved. But other civil society groups also need to step up the game, and the urgency is there because we know fish rot is a terrible scandal, but it's not the only scandal. There's been a whole series of corruption scandals. So unless we do step up to our responsibilities, this whole situation is going to get worse and worse.
Today on One also spoke to the Chief Public Relations Officer at the ACC, Josephina Ngituamata, on whether the ACC welcomes the presence of Namibian civil society organizations in their new National Anti-Corruption Strategy and Action Plan, also referred to as NACS.
It kind of came at a slow pace to get the involvement of civil society to be part of the implementation of this strategy, which actually maybe now be the reason why the civil society might think they are not really involved much in the implementation of this strategy. However, the NANCOF was part and parcel of the stakeholders to be part of the implementation of the National Anti-Corruption Strategy. And maybe just to add also, we had quite a number of institutions that were involved when we implemented this strategy, which range from the private and public sectors. However, we, as I can mention, that we really had a little or not really much interest from the civil society. However, they must know that they are very important, and we really value them to be part of this fight against corruption.
According to the ACC, the government of the Republic of Namibia signed the United Nations Convention Against Corruption on the 9th of December 2003 and ratified it on the 3rd of August 2004. Article 5 of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption also requires state parties to develop and implement a comprehensive national anti-corruption strategy.
I'm in a meeting.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Okay, let's get right into it. Can we talk about the Q2 fiscal report? Ricardo, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Pewa. Well, it's clear we're feeling the economic headwinds. Profits have leveled and we're...
First place!
Sorry, guys, it's my dad.
Did you hear? I'm in first place. And I just broke the lap record.
Dad? I'm a bit busy here. Okay. Where?
Oh, sorry.
2020 just got crazier in a good way. You can now enjoy fast, reliable, and uncapped internet at 25 megabits per second with Speedlink Lite Plus at crazy prices starting from as little as 898 Namibian dollars. Telecom Namibia.
Sharing your world.
The Affirmative Repositioning Movement recently signed a 4-year agreement with the National Democratic Party that highlights the movement's intentions to support the NDP in the upcoming regional council and local authority elections. The movement will also pave the way for the party by not contesting in the Katima Mulilo district. With the local and regional elections about a month away, Job Amupanda announced that the Affirmative Repositioning Movement will not be participating in Katima Mulilo, as they have shown an interest in assisting the National Democratic Party during the elections.
We have taken a decision that to really give practical meaning that we are sincere with the transformation of the political system, to give practical meaning to our assertion that we need to dignify politics and not just be about competition and things like that, and recognize people of principle, we decided that for Katima Mulilo, we will not contest in the local authority election. Not only did we just decide that we will not contest in the local authority election, we've decided that we're going to support the National Democratic Party because of the contribution, the role, tenacity, courage that the party and its leader have shown over the years. Because most political entities are always about winning, is always about competition, but the NDP and the leadership have always been about participating and giving your voice regardless of whether the voice, that such a voice is going to be popular or not. We want to make sure that in the local authority election day, the NDP would have seats in Katima Mulilo town council. That town council is corrupt, is the same municipality whose people have been found guilty by audit reports and things like that. Because of the nature of our politics, people who are only concerned about themselves, people who are only concerned about acquisition, people who are only concerned about feeding their tummies. So the NDP and the activists that we are going to make, we are not just going to say, in terms of our agreement, we are not just saying we are supporting NDP. We are also assisting the NDP with astute activists on the ground.
Amupanda added that the AR intends to build capacity for the NDP by providing the party with talented youth that are part of the AR movement.
We are not only just supporting and giving professionals, we are setting up systems to make sure that once those NDP councillors get to the municipality, they don't just sit and relax. That is why we've decided we are going to establish what is called the Katima Mulilo Town Council Joint Command Team. So that is a body that is going to be overseeing what those councillors, that those professionals that are going to the town council, what is it that they are doing, what program. So they must be able to account and report. What is it that they are achieving? So the only way we can ensure that there is no demolition of homes in Katima Mulilo is by getting people who are going to solve the problem. It will be the responsibility of our activists who are in Katima Mulilo to organize press conferences, to organize meetings when and where the leadership of the NDP, including Mr. Lukato. Because we don't, some of you are always talking, no, Mr. Lukato is that man that holds press conferences alone. He have hold press conferences. He doesn't care whether it's at a stadium. He will just go and speak to people. So what we have done as young people, we have now gone beyond that. We don't want to have those stories.
The NDP president Lukato expressed his appreciation towards the affirmative repositioning movement and its leaders for the support that they will be rendering to his party.
Zap the germs that make kids ill with Zinfarm Junior Booster Syrup, the special new cream soda flavored immune booster for infants and children that's not only sugar-free, but packed with vitamin C. Zinfarm Junior Booster Syrup also has double-strength doses of zinc and selenium that's important for healthy cells and good metabolism, and reduces and prevents cases of diarrhea caused by taking antibiotics. An immune booster that can do all that at a price you can afford.
Just what we need.
Zinfarm Junior Booster Syrup, now available at all leading pharmacies countrywide. A proud Fabufarm product.
In other leading stories, the Action Coalition condemns the disproportionate actions used by the Namibian police over the weekend against the #ShutItAllDown protest over the SGBV and femicide crisis in Namibia. In a media statement, it noted that it is clear from the video footage of the protests that the police acted wrongly and committed human rights abuses, ironically mostly against women who were protesting against gender-based violence, adding that the police response, particularly the throwing of tear gas canisters and smoke grenades and the use of excessive force, in some instances brutal, against protesters was unacceptable. It further noted that the justified anger of the protesters is a direct result of the failure of the government and the police to protect women and prevent SGBV and femicide in Namibia over a long period of time. Action Coalition therefore calls on President Hage Geingob to condemn the actions of the police and to immediately set out what government will do to protect women and prevent SGBV and femicide in the country. The president should also meet with the protesters to assure them that their concerns are being acted on with urgency. They also call on the Minister of Safety and Security and the Police Inspector General to jointly institute a public inquiry into the police's response to the protests. The aim should be to ensure police respect human rights, improve the police's crowd control responses, and develop gender sensitivity training for all police officers.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. The Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare left the city to the Zambezi region on pressing business as a large group of young protesters marched to her office demanding her resignation last week Friday. The protesters believe that the Gender Minister was supposed to be leading the fight against violent crimes and gruesome killings of women and children in the country. They were, however, met by heavily armed police officers. Tobisa said an angry nation is a violent nation and that government should listen to its people. Shane said Namibians should stick to peaceful demonstrations and not follow the path of its neighbor South Africa. Jerome said the law enforcement should fight GBV-related crimes with the same energy. Kapalapala said that he does not support violence, but that the youth should change their approach. Despite being one of the less celebrated political parties in the country, the National Democratic Party NDP leader was awarded with an Affirmative Political Activism Award by the Affirmative Repositioning Movement for their continued persistence in the political space. Hans said he is inspired by Lukato's determination. He Emmanuel said that AR is confused and the NDP leader has not achieved much other than addressing empty trees. Junior said the affirmative repositioning movement leader will end up with nothing. Shekutampa said champion man deserved to be awarded. Aisha congratulated Lucato and described him as a true soldier. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on Today and One.
Win free airtime with One Africa TV. Share your comments on the channel. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
A look at the weather forecast. The Namibia interior partly cloudy and very hot in the north with a few showers in the far north, but isolated thunder showers in the Zambezi region. Elsewhere sunny and hot to very hot. The coast partly cloudy and cool to warm with fog patches over the central and northern coast. The wind moderate northerly to fresh westerly. Now a look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
We know the world is a crazy place right now, but don't panic. Take a breath, slow down, or better yet, stop completely. We'll still be here when everything settles down. In this time of uncertainty, look to nature. She has all the answers, you know. We're not only giving ourselves time to reset, we're giving nature time to restore, revive, restart. We're saving ourselves and we're saving the world. Stay home now so that we can welcome you to Namibia again soon. Yes, the world's a crazy place right now, but don't despair. Find the joy, cherish hope, breathe. Take a moment, take a few, and someday soon you'll once again be able to stare in wonder at this magnificent view. The world's a crazy place right now, but don't worry, we'll still be here. We'll see you again soon.